We're a destination when tourists are coming to North Dakota. They want to come see the art museum because of the work that we're doing and because of the caliber of exhibitions that we put on. I think that's something that this area should be really proud of, to have an arts museum that's representing among the top tier art museums throughout the country. Plains Art Museum is the only accredited art museum in the state of North Dakota. It's also the largest art museum here in the state and became the first Smithsonian affiliate in the state of North Dakota as well. So we really function and work at that national level and seek to bring high caliber exhibitions here. Only a small percentage of museums in the United States hold accreditation, so it's a high standard. It means that we care for our collections, present a diverse exhibition portfolio, practice the best financial stewardship. It's not something you're given in perpetuity, it's something that you have to maintain and keep. So we're also constantly evaluating our work with those accreditation standards to ensure that we continue to offer a top-tier experience. Plains Art Museum has deep roots here in the region. It actually started in a former post office building in Moorhead, Minnesota, and moved across the river to a current location in downtown Fargo in the 1990s. The building that we're in, it's a historic building. It's actually the former International Harvester building. And when it was renovated in the 90s, it was turned into an accredited art museum. And in the decades since 97, we've really grown to the largest art museum within the state of North Dakota. We seek to present a diverse exhibition calendar that speaks to everybody from all cultures, all walks of life, really looking to present art that people can connect to and relate with and learn from. We work several years out with thinking about what exhibitions we want to present and what's going to have a great impact. We're always looking to hit on that international, national, and regional level. Plains Art Museum has had a strong commitment to always having Native American artists and art on view. It's a major part of our mission.
I work with Indigenous artists. I work on curating the Indigenous exhibits as well as Indigenous programming to just promote the Indigenous community in Fargo-Moorhead. A lot of the times you see the curatorial departments of other museums broken into perhaps geographic ranges. So rather than Indigenous, it's, the Americas or, Europe, Asia, etc. For my role though, I get to really demonstrate that Native North America is quite large and incredibly diverse, incredibly dynamic. It's not cut and dry, it's not this very simplistic, ahistorical, bounded objects that we're taught through the school system. Indigenous America is so much more complex. One of the great things I get to do is bring artists from around the United States and Canada to Fargo and demonstrate just the sheer diversity and just sheer talent that our population has to offer. We are trying to provide equitable and equal access to everybody in this community when it comes to curation and the designing of exhibits, and really prioritizing how individuals and artists want to be seen and represented, because they do have a voice in their own artwork.
Connecting the community with the art exhibitions, it's a lot of the work that we do, and that work is really focused on the dissemination of information. It means youth engagement, it means labels and texts that are interpretive in nature. We also use something that's referred to as VTS, or visual thinking strategies. That's a newish way of looking at art where you're not necessarily coming at it from an art historical perspective, but you're instead asking questions about how the work relates to your own life experiences and your own foundation of knowledge. And that's a really great entry point for people who haven't studied art. Through our different facets of work, we seek to really engage with everybody. We're a museum for the people, we're here for all, and we really seek to be accessible in that regard and just be, a museum where you can come, experience great art, and feel like you can understand what you're looking at. The new permanent collection vault is going to be a great asset to the community and for the visitor experience. As of now, nobody has any access to that lowest level. It's off view for the public, but starting in early 2027, you'll actually be able as a visitor to go down to that lower level, look into the vault, and see more of that artwork, and also just see how artwork is stored. We have over 6,000 works of art that we hold in trust for future generations, and that's been more of the quiet work that we do. Our exhibitions obviously are front and center. People are aware that we put on shows, but they're not always aware that we steward these works. So we show maybe between 1 to 5% of the artworks that we hold in trust at any given time, and we really seek to change that with this expansion and opening the vaults. And of course, we can continue collecting, which is something we're really eager to do. We have accessioned over 800 works of art in the last 2 years alone and are really out of space, and we want to continue to grow our collection, and so this gives us the capacity to do so moving forward. We're really representing the state of North Dakota on this national stage and sharing our cultural background, our heritages, our interests, what we're working on with that broader audience. You can come in without that art historical background and leave having learned something new and related to the artwork in a way that's personal and unique to yourself, because art really is for everybody.
Funded by the members of Prairie Public.